Where do you get your recipes? Family, friends?
Well, my recipes come from, of course, my family. My grandmother passed down quite a few of them. But the internet, as everybody knows, is the world of information today. So you can go on any time and click anything, and it's there for you. So I would say internet and books are my biggest way of getting information for baking.
How do you put your own personal twist on recipes?
Well, I try to infuse. Fusion is a big thing with me. I like to infuse different flavor profiles, take out maybe something, infuse the cream to add the flavor in that way. So that is my twist, maybe changing the design, the size, the texture a little bit, but infusion of flavor is my biggest point right now.
How would you rate your skill level when it comes to baking?
I would say I'm an expert. Yeah.
And decorating?
I think I'm an expert, as you will see on my cake displays.
And pastries and desserts?
Well, pastry and desserts, I know I've got that down pat because I've been doing it for the past 12 years, coming up with some great ideas and changing things out, introducing new trios in restaurants and so forth. And that's another thing I like to do, dessert trios.
How would you rate your decorating skills when under time constraints?
Well, this past week it's been a big time constraint with job and everything else that goes along with it. So I think I can handle myself very well. I think things out, I plan them, and I try to stick by things. If something goes wrong, well, it's just get right in there and change it up and do it over.
What, in your opinion, makes a great cake baker decorator?
Well, I think a great baker decorator would be somebody that researches a project, that is willing to take constructive criticism, somebody who's willing to ask questions when needed, and someone who's willing to is self-motivated to get out there and get the job done.
What makes someone a bad baker decorator?
That's just the opposite part of the coin. Someone who doesn't want to listen, someone that doesn't know their skills, someone who will not take any criticism or shuns away from being shown how to do something.
How do you think you'll handle quick-fire baker challenges and working in a group for bigger challenges?
Well, my quick-fire one is something that's I'm looking forward to getting involved with. I've had a lot of those in some of the competitions with my partner, like a one-on-one quick-fire thing where it's out of the box and you got to think on your feet and get it done and create something almost immediately. So I like those challenges. On the other hand, the team challenges are good because you've got a group of people who you can draw from, who you can get, each one is a special creative side of them that you can draw from to make the project come out spectacular.
And what do you think will be your strengths and weaknesses?
My strengths would be my ability to jump into a situation and handle it without breaking down. I'm not a drama queen, so unfortunately I've never really been. I think I would be good as far as management skills and the ability to jump in and get something done and think off my feet.
What kind of role do you generally play in groups?
Well, I tend to, when we're in groups, I tend to stand back and just kind of oversee things and scope things out to see what's going on, but it always ends up that everybody always comes to me asking for advice or whatever, so most of the time that I'm in a group I end up being the group so-called leader.
Are you competitive in nature?
Yes, I am competitive in nature. I've been competing since high school, state champions in field hockey, so I've been competitive most of my whole life. And I compete against myself a lot of times too.
If you're up against another contestant, will you be competitive in order to win the life-changing cash and prizes?
Oh, I can be very competitive. That side of me, not too many people see because it's always been in the kitchen or for fundraisers or whatever. We've been competitive nature, but yes, I can be very competitive. I can be ruthless at times.
And how far will you go to win, and how would you play the game?
Well, I would play fair. I know that. I don't believe in degrading people. I don't believe in talking behind their backs. I'm a straightforward person. I tell it like it is, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be the next great baker.
Are you better at competing head-to-head or team-up?
I like them both. So I think head-to-head is very good. I can think quick on my feet, like I said, and head-to-head is where I would rather be probably.
Can you put on a good act when you're working with people you don't like, or is it hard for you to hide your feelings?
Well, I don't really put on an act. I never did. I'm not one for acting things out, so to speak. If I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, I tolerate you. That is basically it. So it's not anything where I'm going to be bashing somebody if I don't like them, because we're all individuals. We all have our own personality.
You've seen competition shows. On a lot of those shows, there are clear types of competitors. The sweetheart, the drama queen, the type A bitchy type. Who are you?
Well, I think I would start out as the sweetheart, because I'm like I said, I like people and I try to take an individual as an individual, and I like to think in my words before I spill them out. So, but I know I can turn into a ruthless little type A bitchy type person if the situation arises. Yes, I can end up like that. Yes, I can.
How do you handle stressful situations?
Well, I'm very good at stress handling. I've learned that over the years in the restaurant business. Anybody that's been in that business knows you have to be able to handle stress, or you get out of the kitchen, because it's just the way of life in the food industry. So stress is something that I do not have a problem dealing with.
What does baking cake decorating mean to you? Has baking cake decorating ever got you through a hard time?
Well, baking cake decorating is something that right now, taking a year off from my career, is something that now I'm ready to get into it full force. I'm ready to just roll into it and just get going. That is my next move, and when I become a contestant, I'm going to prove that. But I do want to get back into the baking industry 100%, and that's my goal.
Why do you want to be on the show?
Well, I want to be on the show for that reason, to get back into the industry. I just have a passion about baking. I love to bake. I can sit and do intricate work for hours and hours without any problems. And I just love the whole creative part of it. It's just something that I just love to do. And I think being on the show would help me. And that is why I want to be on the show, for the experience, the knowledge, and all that package that being a contestant would bring to me.
Why should we pick you to be on the series? What makes you unique and different from everyone else?
Well, I think, why would you want me? Because I'm a well-rounded person, I'm experienced, I'm mature, I have a lot of background in the food industry and in cake decorating, construction, so forth. So I think I would be a great candidate for the next Great Baker, because of my experience over the years, my knowledge, and my self-driven drive that I have. So for that I guess it's the last question. So well, pick me for the next Great Baker.